Don't you dare say it.
Jackpot. Why you gotta leave me hanging? We used to love saying that.
I have no recollection.
Well, let me jog your memory. A little Virgil. Crying in the corner. Because Mommy got mad.
I seem to recall you crying every time Father raised his voice.
How would they feel if they saw us now?
What does it matter? We're still here, aren't we?
Yeah, you're probably right.
20 years go by. Nero and Nico chase a car shooting at them down the highway. Nero says, "That punk," he shoots a few rounds. They're all deflected by a woman with a ridiculously long sword. She swings her sword again, and cherry blossoms fly at the van. The bullets, grenades, fireballs built of lightning fly at the van. It dodges them all, but the car takes one too many shots. The woman with the sword jumps out of the car to fight Nero one-on-one. Both cars stop. Engines on. The woman says, "Don't wait up." The car does a donut and drives off. Nico leans back, relaxed, smoking. Nero and the woman both say they hate cigarettes. Kamiya, the demon Ronin, and her Katana sisters clash against Nero and the Red Queen, but she's eventually defeated. Nico gets a broom and dustpan and cleans up the cherry blossom petals that were once her sword. They throw her in the back of the van and they go after the car again. Nero and Nico tailed the car again, the van rattling with every sharp turn. In the backseat of the fleeing vehicle, a woman sat casually, eyes locked on a PSP, thumbs dancing across the controls as she played Darkstalkers. Without warning, she flipped backwards out of the moving car, landing cleanly on the roof of the van. She stomped her feet twice, metal clanged. The van jerked to a sudden stop. Momentum carried her forward, but she flipped again mid-air, landing effortlessly on her feet in front of them. Nero stepped out, his expression sharp. "You know how much trouble you're in?" The woman didn't look up, still glued to her screen. Without a word, she launched into a flurry of kicks. Nero barely dodged the first few, stumbling back. He activated the overture, the Devil Breaker sparking to life. But with a swift kick, she shattered it into pieces. "Shh, fine," Nero muttered. He swapped in Punchline, locking it into place. His hand clenched around the Red Queen as he revved it up, flames licking the blade. "Let's see how you handle this." The woman, Devil Diva, or DD as the underground knew her, looked down at her PSP. On screen, BB Hood had just taken out Lord Raptor. Victory. She hit pause with a soft click. Then she spun on her heel and in one smooth motion drew two handguns from beneath her jacket and opened fire. Nero dove to the side, bullets sparking off the pavement behind him. He surged forward, Red Queen roaring to life. Their battle lit up the street, gunfire, sparks, steel. But eventually, Devil Diva slowed, her guard dropped just enough. Nero seized the opening. With a sharp movement, he snatched the PSP from her hands, flipping it shut. With the blunt edge of Red Queen, he tapped her lightly on the forehead. Game over. Nico leaned out the van window and pointed. Dee looked down. Silent. She turned and walked toward the van without a word, shoulders low, the game still echoing in her ears. Nero spotted the car again in the distance. "Got you," he muttered. He thrust out his Devil Bringer, a surge of power lashing forward like a spectral chain, gripping the rear of the car. It screeched, tyres locking under the force. Nico slammed the brakes. "All right," she said, flicking her cigarette out the window. "Let's settle this like gentlemen." Nero released his grip, stepping forward as the car door opened. A masked demon stepped out, wearing a blue hoodie and holding a worn aluminum baseball bat. His stance was loose, too loose to be human. From the passenger side, another figure emerged, a young man with short black hair and Dante's Alaster slung across his back, the blade humming faintly with demonic energy. He walked to the trunk, popped it open and pulled out two large bags. "Go on!" the demon said over his shoulder. The young man gave a short nod and started walking away down the road, calm and silent. "I'll deal with you in a minute," Nero called after him, eyes narrowing. The masked demon cracked his neck. Koblenz the Reaper, the street sweeper, the one they said fought like smoke and knives, met Nero blow for blow. Every swing, every strike, mirrored with eerie precision. But slowly Nero began to edge ahead. One hit landed, then another. A brutal combo drove Koblenz back, forcing him to skid across the pavement. He groaned, rising to his feet just in time to watch the car peel away, tyres screaming as it abandoned him. Without a word, Koblenz drew 2 pistols and opened fire. Nero raised his devil bringer, the demonic arm glowing with force. Bullets pinged and sparked off it harmlessly. Then an engine roared behind him. The same car, the one that had just driven off, came tearing back down the street, aiming straight for Nero. Koblenz didn't hesitate. He charged at the same time, firing as he ran, closing the gap. Nero's eyes flared crimson. He activated his devil trigger, power surging through him. At the last second, he spun, grabbed the car by its frame, and with a roar, hurled it overhead. The car slammed down on Koblenz mid-stride, crushing him in a twisted heap of glass and metal. Nero tossed the wreck aside like junk. From under the wreckage, Koblenz groaned. "My car!" Nero turned his back, brushing the dust off his coat. "Get in the van!" Nero sat in the passenger seat, arms crossed, eyes on the road ahead. "I don't know where I went wrong," he muttered. "What I could have done different." From behind the wheel, Nico gave him a quick glance. "It's not your fault," she said. "He's just getting used to his new powers." A sudden jolt rocked the van as they hit a bump. From the back, the voices of their demon-tagged passengers rose up in protest. "Damn my spine! Watch it! Ever heard of smooth driving? Shut it!" Nero barked, not even looking back. Then, money. Bills drifted down from the sky like oversized snowflakes. Nico slowed the van. "Tell me I'm not seeing that." Nero was already out the door, eyes tracking the source. He kicked through the building's entrance and started up the stairs, floor after floor, until he reached the roof. There, the young man stood on the edge, cigarette in his mouth, bills falling from an open duffel at his feet. "What the hell are you doing?" Nero called out. The boy didn't turn. "One for me," he said, flicking a bill into the air. "One for them." Nero's eyes went to the bag. "I'm taking that." The kid took a deep pull on the cigarette, then spoke through the exhale. "Can't do that, you're no Dante." He inhaled the last of it in a single breath, then blew smoke, a ring, then an arrow, and sharp and deliberate, slicing through the space between them. "I'm not trying to be." Tony, aka Punk, fought his father like a storm incarnate. On the rooftop, fists and blades clashed beneath a sky lit with fire and lightning. Every strike cracked concrete. Every roar of power shook the building. Punk moved fast, faster than Nero expected. With one clean hit, he knocked the Red Queen into the air, spinning high above them. Nero ducked low, narrowly dodging a flurry of sword swings. The last one he caught with a surge of demonic force, deflecting the blade with his devil bringer, then reaching up to snatch the Red Queen from mid-air, reclaiming it in one smooth motion. Down below, near the van, Nico and the 3 battered passengers watched the rooftop light show. Suddenly, something whistled through the air. Alastor, the demonic sword, came spiralling down from above and slammed into the pavement, point first, sparking on impact. Back on the rooftop, Punk launched himself forward again, but Nero caught him mid-air and slammed him into the ground, planting a boot on his hand and pressing the Red Queen to his throat. "Are you finished yet?" Nero growled. Punk looked up, grinning. Not quite. His body convulsed. Energy surged outward like a wave, and in a flash of raw, unfiltered power, Punk transformed into Urizen, towering, monstrous, his form crackling with darkness and rage. He raised a massive fist and punched down. Nero didn't flinch. He met the strike head-on with his own. The rooftop detonated in light and sound, the shockwave shattering every window in the building below. When the dust finally settled, Nero emerged, bruised but steady, carrying Punk slung across his shoulders. The street was packed now. A crowd had gathered. They erupted into cheers for Punk, not Nero. Dollar bills floated through the night like falling leaves. A few jeers followed. Nico crossed her arms, watching the crowd. bunch of groupies. Nero grunted and tossed Punk into the back of the van. The doors slammed shut, the engine growled, and they drove off into the night.